Hi folks, Gary at Gary's Practical Workshop. Now, I don't know whether you saw the last video, but on this particular video we are arrived at our destination, which is the first of many destinations actually in Scotland. And this is something my other half's been wanting to see for quite some time. We did try and get into Edinburgh, but it looks as if Edinburgh's doing much the same thing as London. They got this ultra zone malarkey starting there, and I'm not quite sure if it's exactly the same. As if you know different, leave comments down below, but apparently they're doing something similar. And we didn't want to get caught with Billy. Just to let you know, Billy's parked there. We're going to be moved later on over into the centre, which would be probably better actually, but so we decided not to do that, and now we're actually at the Kelpies. We bypassed Edinburgh, we're at the Kelpies, and we're now, well, I'm now trying to find Mary actually. I don't know where she's gone, but we're now at the Kelpies, as I said, and we're about to look at them. This is a shot from a distance away, like we can all see that. They do look quite magnificent actually, modern day sculpture. I believe it's all stainless steel, but I'm not absolutely sure about that. So I'm going to walk up to them, see if I can catch the boss, and then I will be back later. I'm now at the end of the path which takes you up to these magnificent pieces of sculpture. There they all are in their glory. I'm going to see if I can find Mary, but just to give you an idea, there's a tourist information calf shop there, should you require information about the sculpture themselves. And if we pan round to the left, we get a first class shot of the Kelpies. Quite amazing really. And we're going to go and walk over there, see if I can find her, and I'll be back in a minute. See folks, we got to the Kelpies after all the fuss and bother with Edinburgh. We were a bit concerned about Edinburgh, to be honest with you, because we weren't quite sure whether they're actually running the ultra low emission zones, but same as London. Now if they are, we hope that the people of Edinburgh kick off like they have kicked off in London, because I think it's morally wrong, but that's just my opinion. But nevertheless, we are now at the Kelpies, and we're going to take a little tour over to the Kelpies, and we'll be back later. And we're now taking a good walk round, and we're going to take you folks with us so you can see them as much as we can. It's not until you get up close to these things that you realise how big they are. They really are huge. I would say probably about 100 feet, maybe 80 feet, maybe more. But they really are a piece of art. I'm not really a fan of this sort of stuff, to be honest with you, but looking at that, and you're probably not seeing the same perspective that I'm seeing them, that is very impressive indeed. Very impressive. Walking round gets a bit boring, guys. You can always move on to the next bit, just fast forward. But looking at that, that's quite something. Well, it is from where I'm standing anyway. Okay, I'm going to stop the camera now and I'll be back later. This is the entrance to actually get in, and I don't think we're allowed in because it's padlocked, obviously. But it's just so we can get a shot in there for you guys. Don't want to drop you. Looks quite amazing from what I can see. I'll bring you out. Well, it looks as if you guys may be privileged to see that I see something that I can't. But what I can see from the outside is that. I won't quite go as far as say the word awesome, because awesome is a word I rarely use, but it certainly is very, very impressive. come down the other side so you can see that side as well. And there we go. Oh look, there's a stranger there. Excuse me, madam, may I ask you what you think so far of the Kelpies?
Wonderful.
In what way would you describe them?
Utterly stunning. Better than any photo.
Better than any photo?
Yeah.
And what would you say was the reason they were put here? Do you know anything about the history?
Just know about them in Scottish folklore, the Kelpies. That's all. I don't know more than that.
Right. Thank you very much, madam. That was a member of the public doing a piece to camera. We've never actually seen her before. She's a complete stranger and she knew very little actually, which is a bit surprising considering that she wanted to see him in the bloody first place. I'll wipe this out, Mary. Cut. Okay, so we've now seen the Kelpie on the left or the right, depending on which way you're positioned, and there's the one on the opposite side of the lock. Yes, the lock. Here's the lock, just here, which is quite strange, isn't it? That must be a turning basin over there, as is over here. And there's a few narrowboats moored up, obviously homes for people. Like van life, you've got boat life, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Although I imagine boat life is a lot more sedate, a lot more for sedate. Right, they're all moored up along there. We can see them right way down the canal. I don't normally, as a rule, like deep water. I'm just going to make sure that this is safe. Yeah, it's safe. So we're safely across. I can wipe all the sweat from my brow now. And just to give you a quick shot again of the other Kelpie. There's his ear, and if we go around the other side, and I don't believe we can get into this one either. I think they're both locked. I'm not going to put the camera through the hole in the door on this one, folks, because I've already got footage on the other one, and I imagine they would probably be very similar, even though this one has got a different expression when you look at the head. But it's still very, very impressive, just as impressive as his brother next door. Now some people might say nay, it's not. Oh yeah, leave the jokes alone, Gary. But it is. It really is. Coming back down to ground level, walking around the front, we can now get a pan shot of the grounds. Well, I'm just going to take a walk across the other side of that bowl where all the longboats are moored and show you some of the spots over here. If you get any wiggle and a jiggle, apologies guys. I'm hoping the GoPro will take my walking movements out of the shots, but we'll see. Yeah. A few shots from the other side. And you can see the Kelpies there. Probably better at a distance. But yeah. Right. We are right at the front of the Kelpies now. The Kelpies to my right. And here is the bowl I mentioned earlier. for, I believe it's for longboats, narrowboats, to pass each other and maybe turn round or wait for their position in the queue for the lock, which is just there. So Mary's just gone over to the wooden bridge. There she goes. I can see her over there. She's now making her way into the centre of the bridge. And I believe that's the swing bridge. There she goes. There's the nose of one of the Kelpies. We just go up, take a few shots from this side, and we can get them both together with a bit of luck. And there you go. Magnificent, magnificent. Anyway, coming back now. Now I'm not sure, folks, and I don't know where that canal goes. Obviously it's somewhere in Scotland, and I expect it links up to the English network as well, but I really don't know. Perhaps you might want to leave a comment below if you know. And this is the basin that I was telling you about, which I just shot a minute ago. Panning right way round. There's the boss. Back to that canal. Right guys, we just noticed this actually. Queen Elizabeth II Canal. So now we do have a name for the one I just mentioned. And obviously it was opened by Her Majesty the Queen when she was with us. God rest her soul. And it was on Wednesday the 5th of July 2017. Right folks, this is just a closing shot right at the very front of both of them. And I think, as I said, it's not until you see this front shot here, the expressions on their face really hit home. And I think the people that have done this, they've just got it absolutely bang on. They really have. I hope this footage comes out as good as I can see them in the flesh, so to speak. But very interesting, very good. Right, so that's me, Gary, at Gary's Practical Workshop. I'm going to sign out now. I will be back later with some more stuff of our trip to Scotland. Bye for now.